On March 14, 1985, Kathy Hobbs, a 34-year-old office manager in Las Vegas, walked into her local police station with a written account. In it, she described a car accident, a specific intersection, a blue sedan, a collision that would leave someone critically injured. She dated the document March 11th. 3 days later, on March 14th, at the corner of Tropicana and Eastern Avenue, a blue 1982 Buick struck a pedestrian. The victim survived, hospitalized with a fractured pelvis and internal bleeding. Hobbs had never met the victim. She'd never been to that intersection before. When detectives cross-referenced her statement with the accident report, the location details matched. The vehicle color matched. One fact remained unsettling: how much of what she'd written could be explained by coincidence, and how much couldn't. The investigation split along two paths. Police initially treated Hobbs as a potential witness, someone who might have overheard information at work or through acquaintances and unconsciously documented it as premonition. Detective James Morrison interviewed her colleagues at the insurance firm where she worked. None reported her discussing the accident beforehand. Her supervisor confirmed she'd requested the afternoon of March 14th off unusual, but her mother was ill that week. Then came the secondary interviews. A coworker mentioned Hobbs had always been intuitive, had once correctly predicted a supervisor's resignation. Another recalled her mentioning bad feelings about the roads that week. Rumor accumulated faster than evidence. By the time the local news picked up the story in late March, the narrative had hardened. Hobbs was either precognitive or a hoaxer. No one was seriously investigating the third option, a coincidence that looked like pattern. What emerged from deeper reporting was less theatrical but more revealing. The blue sedan detail that Hobbs had cited, she'd described it as a late 70s or early 80s Buick, blue paint, maybe faded. The actual vehicle was a 1982 Buick, blue. But blue sedans made up roughly 18% of registered vehicles in Clark County at that time. Tropicana and Eastern was a major intersection, high traffic, predictable accident probability. When researcher Dr. Philip Hendricks analyzed Hobbs' written statement, he found her description contained 11 specific elements. 6 matched the actual accident. 3 were generic to the area. 2 were wrong. She'd mentioned afternoon, but the collision occurred at 4:47 p.m., technically evening by legal definition. She'd written driver was male, the driver was female. The question shifted: was she forecasting, or was she generating predictions loose enough that some would inevitably align with reality? The competing explanations require naming honestly. Hypothesis 1: Hobbs possessed genuine precognitive ability. No scientific framework supports this. No repeatable tests have ever verified precognition. Hypothesis 2: she had unconscious knowledge, overhearing information, reading local traffic reports subliminally, accessing data through ordinary means, and misremembering the source. This is testable and historically common. Hypothesis 3: coincidence amplified by confirmation bias. She made a vague prediction about an accident. Accidents happen daily in Las Vegas. When one occurred, her statement appeared prescient in retrospect, and details that didn't match were minimized. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police closed the case in April 1985 with the notation, "No evidence of criminal involvement." Premonition claim neither confirmed nor disproven. They were right. Hobbs was never proven to be a liar. She was never proven to see the future. She was simply someone whose guess aligned with reality in ways that remain statistically explainable. Return to that written statement from March 11, 1985. It's not evidence of prophecy. It's evidence that a woman made a prediction specific enough to seem remarkable when a car accident happened 3 days later at one of the busiest intersections in Las Vegas. What makes this case linger isn't that it proves precognition, it doesn't. What makes it linger is what it reveals about how we read coincidence. We search for patterns because patterns feel like meaning. And sometimes, in the gap between accident and prediction, between luck and knowledge, we find exactly what we wanted to see. Kathy Hobbs lived in Las Vegas for another 12 years. She never made another public prediction about accidents. She never claimed the gift again. And perhaps that silence tells us more than any premonition ever could.